Wideout George Pickens coming off what was Pickens' best year in the NFL. Following that tag, their quarterback, Dak Prescott, offered some advice to his wide receiver yesterday. Listen to this.
George loves football. That's the one thing about it. I just want him to know, don't change your love for football. Don't get in the business mind of this. You played last year on a 1 year for not even that much, right? So if you can go 30, whatever it is now, I think it's the same thing I got. So, when I franchise. So, hey, go do it. At the end of the day, bet on yourself. He's a hell of a player. Hopefully we can get him long term and sign that. But if not, I think the way that he plays the game and the person that he is, he'll be just fine.
Okay, so words of wisdom from Dak Prescott. This felt like a very Dak Prescott thing to say. What was your takeaway?
And if I'm George Pickens, I ain't trying to hear all of that. I don't need your opinion of what I should be doing. Just love of the game, go play. If I'm talking to SA and I'm in a contract negotiating, I'm trying to get ESPN to pay me some money. I don't need SA saying to me.
He would not say that. That's very clear.
And 100, he's going to get you $1 million. I know what he's going to say. And that's what I would expect him to say.
Go get your money. Until you get the money.
No doubt about it. And
facts. You're right, Kimberly. You're right.
For Dak Prescott, looking out for Dak Prescott. I'm a better quarterback with George Pickens out there on the field.
Hello and welcome to another Sports Spin, where we take a sports story and we spin it. I'm Sun-EB7 and thank you for joining. You saw the video up front. Stephen A and those guys, Jay, they're all arguing about what Dak Prescott did. Of course, Dak Prescott went out in the press and told the press what he said about the contract negotiations. There's so much to see there. And they didn't even cover it. They didn't even, you know what I mean? I'm not going to either, but yeah, there's so much there I could say. And I will say some of it. Don't even worry. So anyway, it's about perspective. Jay was saying this is a business. No matter what you like, no matter it's your game you love and all this other crap, it's still a business. There's still people out there getting paid. There's people making a lot of money. Negotiations have a lot to do with that. The best talented don't mean the highest paid. It's the negotiations. That goes for any job. Therefore, Jay was trying to keep him on track with that. But Stephen A and them, they got a little happy. And I don't know if that was orchestrated or not. They seem to get off track. They was talking about what he said and how he sounded. Jay is saying no. It's where he said it is the problem. Right? But for some reason, Stephen A and them couldn't stay on that topic. Almost as if I don't know if that was to cover some or, these big stations like that, they have agendas. So that might have been to move you off of that because they glad he did it. The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys going out and telling the public what he said to him about his contract negotiations is sketchy AF. You do not do that. You don't go out there and tell them what you told him because basically you're using the media to negotiate. And you're not in the negotiations. You got a contract. So tell them, $30 million, I had to do it. I got some words for that. But I won't say them. But I'm going to tell you something. There's a type of person that goes out and says, well, you can't do that because I didn't get to do that. So you got to do what I did. Those people are what I call ball and chains. They hold you back because they interrupt your negotiations or your how you're going to move for their own personal, how can I say it? Their own personal, I can't think of the word right now. But basically, how I got there has nothing to do with how you're going to get there. So if you say, well, I'm going to negotiate a contract that makes a lot more money, I have nothing to say. Because if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. And hopefully you get it. But there are a lot of people that don't feel that way. There's a lot of people want to negotiate for you. What Dak just did was negotiate for him. And the proof of what I'm saying is he came out and said, well, I did it, 30 million. Hey, I had to do that. That's what I got. So that is not how you supposed to, he was not supposed to do that. And Pickens should be pissed. He should be pissed. $30 million. That's, yeah, to most of us, that's a lot of freaking money. But what if he can get a long-term $100 million contract somewhere else? What does he want? Who gives a damn what you got or how you got it? He's negotiating his contract. You ain't supposed to say nothing. A quarterback is supposed to stay neutral. Because if you say something for the player, then it looks like you're trying to help the player get money to the organization. If you say something against the player, then it looks like you're trying to hurt the player and get him on the field because you don't care about his negotiations. So the reason why I said it that way is so you'll know that you should shut up because it's not you're not going to be right either way. You're either going to offend the player or you're going to offend the organization. So you should be quiet. You know, they need to go back and take a page out of all the players that played in before them and seeing how when the media tried to bring somebody's contract into it, the team would stay away from it. Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I hope it works out. That's it. That's all you got. But all in all, I think the topic went sideways because Stephen A. and them kept going back to what he said. They was agreeing with what he said. Jay kept telling them, no, it's not that. It's where he said it. He even told them, pick up the phone and text and tell me what you think. But don't tell the media. They still went back there. That was on purpose. There's no way they missed that. That was on purpose. They didn't want to let it be known that Dak went out there and threw his receiver under the bus. That's what that was. Because you threw your receiver under the bus. He's negotiating a contract. He's going to figure out what he needs to do. You out there telling me, yeah, I did it because I told him because I mean, come on. Come on, man. You know you shouldn't have said that. You know you shouldn't. You don't even hardly play a full season. And you out here talking about this man's contract to the public. That was egregious. Because when they talked about, well, Jerry Jones going to use that against him in the contract. And it was like, well, he going to do it anyway. How? He can't use it if it wasn't said in public. What he's trying to tell you is you just said that to the media. You said it in public. It means you agree with it. So now they're going to take that into negotiation and say, but what did your quarterback say? Now he has no leverage. Oh, that was underhanded. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That was underhanded. Yeah, that was underhanded. I'm sorry. Dak Prescott pulled a fast one. Yes, he did. Yeah. You took my private, not me, but I'm just speaking in terms of Pickens. You took my private negotiations and you aired it. They need to ask me where I am in that deal. They can only ask Jerry Jones or Pickens. That's the only two should have answered. No one else should answer that. It's not your business. So, yeah, if I'm Pickens, I don't even want to play there. Yeah, I don't like what the quarterback did. He might be getting multi-million. It's like the quarterback was trying to make sure he didn't get all he could get or he didn't get as much as him. Another thing was it was a selfish move because this is a quarterback that's saying, well, Pickens catches a lot. And sometimes CeeDee Lamb, we ain't on the same page and I can have that other receiver and I can look good. We could go as a team. You ain't going nowhere as a team. You've had Dak has had, look, I was hard on Tony Romo at Dallas because I said that is not a Cowboy because he doesn't win in the big game. He can do some things when you say he can't. He'll be 8-8 and go against an undefeated team. If you say he can't beat them, he will. But the minute you say, oh, he's one of the best quarterbacks, he'll lose to a high school. That was Tony Romo's MO. That's the way he was. Well, guess what? You got another one. He's just a different color. You got another one. So, yeah, Dak is not the winningest Cowboy quarterback there ever was. And so I don't think that it's ever appropriate for another player to get into another player's contract negotiations unless he's asked to, and then it's probably going to be asked in public. No one's going to tell you, go out into the press and tell them what I'm doing. Tell them what you think I should do. So now if I go in there and I'll say, look, this is what I want because this is what I've done, they're going to say, but your quarterback said you should just go ahead and sign for this. So he really wants you on the team. So I walk in there with no negotiation leverage. He just took all my negotiation leverage right out of my hands by going in the media with it, with what he said. So basically he's telling everybody, I agree with the Cowboys. He should take it. That's why you got to have two teams. This team ain't going nowhere. Dak ain't going to win shit. He ain't won nothing all this time. He been there, 10, 12 years? What he won? Yeah, he ain't won nothing. He barely won the division. Forget it. I'm done watching these people. If it couldn't get worse, you out there talking about your teammates' contract negotiations. You already suck. And now you out here talking about your team. Damn. If I'm Pickens, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't even want you throwing me a pass. Shit, hand it off. That is ridiculous. I've never seen a quarterback do that. I've seen a quarterback get mad because the negotiations is stalled, but I've never seen a quarterback blame one side or the other. I haven't seen that. Oh, that's wild. Well, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. Until next time. Remember, this sports story has been spun. Take care.